How's your week been, Jen?
Great, really great. Yeah.
Last week we had some big conversations.
Yeah.
Tell me some of the stuff you took away and kind of kept processing during the week.
Right. So,
if anything.
You know, it was very, it was big actually because everything changed actually. Because when we finished for the day, I just spoke to Patricia and she just went over the traffic light analogy. I don't know if you remember that. But it just really, really hit me about two things struck me from the session. And one was two things, that this was a belief system and not about love, this piece of paper. And I cried so hard. And then of course family members came together to share their part with me, and some didn't. And I wasn't supposed to know about any of it. But suddenly I realized it was also messy, and I sent I just felt this email because I realized they were struggling with it too. And I had come to this understanding of, you know, I even was inspired to sing I Did It My Way at her funeral for the slides. And I'm just like her in that way, you know, and I'm passionate about my beliefs and passionate about the people I love, and both things can be true. And I wrote that to my relatives and said, I don't need money. I said, what I do need, I have, and that's a family who love me. And I couldn't have written that before because it wouldn't have felt true, right? And I did get, when you said something to me that you don't remember probably, but I said, you know, Chris has said, you know, how many times you need to say this, and you said as many as you need to. And I'd been feeling guilty up till then about feeling small, or I was like, yeah, I have a right to be mad, and you said it sucks. And then I was like, I get to be mad about this. And then I wasn't anymore, funnily enough. And I have been for a whole year.
Yeah.
So, then of course, you know this is my model, it's a attraction-based universe. The minute I hung up the phone and wrote the letter, the accountant called and said, by the way, they made a $350,000 error on US tax terms, so for the next 8 years you don't have to pay that $375,000.
Wow.
And I'm like, keep it coming! I'm so glad I gave this little teeny bit away. I know other people won't think of it like that, but I was, and then immediately after the attorney hung up, this company calls me and said, you gave us $500 a year ago, we forgot to refund you, can we get your bank account?
Wow.
I went, what? She thought I'd won the lottery. She said, if you need it right now, we can give you BSB. I was just getting good. I said, you're giving me goosebumps. So I just could feel this, because I told them in the letter, I'm abundant, I'm full of well-being, and I felt it again, you know, and I'd been out of whack this year.
Yeah.
So, and I get goosies when I talk about it. So, it was really great. And it's changed my relationship with my Uncle Pat, the priest. And
oh, wow.
We haven't spoken.
Not him, but your dynamic.
Yeah, it's like, I called him on the way home.
Wow.
I said, it's your day off. We chatted. I never just call him. And, because I thought he loves me and he has a belief. He stops at the red light, I cruise through. Such a gift. Such a reframe.
So the matriarch that passed a year ago, and last week you were in that big struggle of how can she do this and love me? What do you know to be true now?
She absolutely loved me. Absolutely loved me. I even said to her when I wrote the letter, what do you want me to say to her? I said, I got it now. But no, her last words, I wasn't going to let a piece of paper wipe away 50 years of showing up for me.
That's right.
Even to my wedding celebration with Chris. And a piece of paper written 10 years ago with her husband a lot,
So what have you learned from our session last week and throughout this week? What have you learned about self-advocating and being angry and being able to feel emotions that in the past you were told you're not allowed to have?
So I still would like to work on anger because that was a brand new thought to me. That I have done it when it's for children, but in I just blanketly consider it abuse. If anyone gets angry, even people who love me, and I call them on, or I'll leave, and I won't tolerate it in my life.
Right.
And they're probably not being abusive; they're just being angry.
And what does that mean? Now that you've had this week to think about it,
Yeah.
or to process it differently, what does being angry mean as compared to anger equals abuse? What does being angry mean?
I realize I shifted so quickly, just getting to be angry here. And other people to say, that was sucky too. Whereas everyone else was like putting a bow on it or saying, be positive.
So what is being angry
It's
mean?
healing. And it helps me move through anger
Yes.
to relief. And then from relief, it was relief into just more lightness, and lightness into eventually joy. Authentic joy.
Authentic joy.
Yeah.
Oftentimes I find when people have anger or any other big emotions like that, but anger in this case, and they're not allowed to have it, it's almost like they're walking down the street and this cement truck is dumping cement. And because they're not really allowed to feel it, they just stop. And then the cement solidifies. And they're still feeling angry, but they're not allowed to move through it. But then when they start to move again, the concrete just breaks up. And then they can move again. And I think it's so important to be able to move. And when we get stuck somewhere, we don't move. And when we're not allowed to feel, we can't move. So today we're going to play with anger. What do you want to do with it? What do you want to walk away here knowing or having around anger?
I want to feel that, I don't know what to call it, that gender therapist anger that I feel.
The self-advocating.
Yeah. That healthy, that has no wobble, that is just, hold the phone, this isn't okay, that I can do for a child. But I can't do for an adult. Well, I definitely can't do for myself. And because I'm so emotional, I'm really afraid what it would look like.
Okay.
And
so
I've
do it
had
in
it
the same
expressed
way that you've done it for kids?
I'd like to do it in a. I actually don't know how it's done in a proper way for adults, but I'd like to have that feeling. I don't have to use the same words, I'd like to be more, I don't know how to be angry and more detached, because I am with the kids.
Okay.
But I feel like I lose my power when I get emotional.
Okay. So if we get the healthy angry so that you have your power and you're advocating for yourself like you do for the kids,
Yes.
how will you know that? What evidence will you have that you can advocate for you in that way? How will you know that you can have your power?
It's kind of like the exercise you just did back then. My head brain, my heart brain, and my gut feel very congruent when I'm in that. I can only think of it with the kids.
Sure.
But it all feels right.
Okay.
And I have access to my vocabulary, to my cognition, to my capabilities.
Okay. So we could even do
I'm resourceful.
A past thought or a future projected situation where you might need to advocate for yourself and see how that is. Okay. What resources do we need to tap into today for you to have this?
I don't know, Heidi. I've never seen it modeled.
That's okay.
I don't know what healthy anger is.
Well, that's a resource we need then.
Yes.
We need to be able to figure it out.
Right.
So figure out the healthy.
Because it's either been busted or abusive.
Easy. For what purpose would you want to have this kind of healthy anger where you have power and alignment, feeling detached, and you can self-advocate like you do for kids?
Because it squirts out. It would stop it turning in on myself and causing anxiety, depression. It would stop it squirting out, and then me apologizing, and then me feeling guilty, and then me blaming myself, and then having to clean it up. It would stop that, but it would stop. And I think people would respect me more, actually. I know my wife would respect me more. I mean, I don't know. I'm not mind reading, but I feel like...
You can mind read. It's okay. It's your mind.
Oh, okay. My mind reads.
I can't. You can.
Okay. My sense is, she's like, okay, then, you know?
Wow.
And
what will that do to your confidence?
I will feel that equality in relationships like I feel when I'm in my professional life.
What will that do to your self-worth? Self-worth.
Right.
How about self-love?
Self-love. Yeah, because that was the other thing from last week. I realized it was a black and white movie, and I had a lot of... I didn't need to go back and do that whole... because I wasn't really at that. But I feel guilty, so that is about... I feel responsible for them. that I could hurt
You have
them.
felt
I have.
responsible. And what will you feel? I'll ask later. I'll
Okay.
ask later.
Because right now I would still feel, okay, I can do this, but
Okay.
how would they feel?
Okay. So I'll ask that later. So by the end of today's session, we're going to get you to a space where you can have that angry, healthy angry, when appropriate, that's full of your own power, being detached and more aligned. And you'll know that because there will be that head, heart, gut alignment, and you'll be able to access your vocabulary and also do what feels right, even if you feel angry.
And I'll feel more in my power. That's
More
what
in
it
your
will do
power.
with my self-worth.
Perfect. More. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. Not be even, because when I wrote that letter, I really wasn't thinking of them.
Isn't that nice?
And they, the fact that they appreciated it was a bonus.
Exactly. Okay. So we're going to do a couple of things. One is I know that you already have that ability to be the advocate for kids. I want to tap into that so your mind and your body are aware of that. And I have some questions that I want to ask you when you're in that space. Your foot's a bit hurt. Do you want to sit down for this, or we could stand
no, I
up?
can stand.
We can stand?
Good for
Okay.
it, actually.
Good for it.
To stretch it.
Take your water up there. I'll just move this back a bit. So let's have a spot where we're going to step into Jen, the advocate for children. Sure, no problem. All right. Where do you want to stand for Jen, the advocate of children?
Here.
Cool. So step right in there. Close your eyes for me. And I want you to remember a time when you were advocating for the kids. Can you remember a time like that? Specific time?
Mm-hmm.
Take yourself back there. See what you saw, hear what you heard, really feel what you felt. First of all, simply tell me in 3 or 4 words, what are those emotions that you're noticing?
I feel humor, actually. I feel get this kid away from this, and I feel I've got this. I've got this. They're floundering. I don't care. I really just, I don't care. The emotion is not even that I don't care about them, but I'm amused.
Nice.
And I've got you. And you've got your little one. So let's get going.
In this, are you doing, saying, and behaving in a way because you have to do it or because you want to do it?
Want to.
Are you more of aware of what's going inside of you or outside of you? Is it more about you or more about the kid?
Both.
Mm-hmm. What comes first?
First is my awareness that I've got this, and then just to check that no matter about ego, I'm going to take care of this kid.
Right.
Yeah.
And are you more associated or dissociated to your emotions?
Dissociated.
Yeah, absolutely. More focused on the big picture or the details?
Big picture.
Mm-hmm. And are you doing what you're doing? Is there a process to it, or is it just what needs to happen in the moment?
It's just what has to happen in the moment.
More options.
Yeah.
And I want you just to notice that.
And a knowing.
Just a knowing.
A practice knowing.
Practice knowing. I want you to feel this. Let your body connect to this. You already have this ability. And this is what anger looks like for you. There's humor in anger. There's standing up. There's owning it. There's, I've got this. There's that ability to be dissociated from it, but do what you need to do because you can. Having the big picture about it, not getting caught in the details, and doing whatever needs to be done because you can do that. And when someone else is being wronged or hurt or put aside, you can step into this in a moment, can't you?
Yes.
And that is powerful, isn't it?
And I have absolute clarity.
Complete clarity.
Yeah.
In a moment, I want you to take a step away from me, just to your left. And I want you to step into you in a situation where there's a personal need for this, personal advocate.
Let's do it.
I'll move this up so you can have a... Got it?
What was this?
This is in you. This is when you need you. And there's that personal advocate. But I want you to step into the same thing. Step into your power. Dissociated from the emotions, but there for the purpose. Saying and doing and experiencing because you can. There's possibility here. Dissociated from the outcome and the emotions and more present to what's going on. More big picture. Saying and doing with pure clarity with those options. You can do whatever you need to do. And with that attitude and that understanding that you've got this. And a little bit of humor. A little bit amused. Amused that you even need to be your own advocate. But powerful enough that you can be. What's that like?
It's like it's not that big a deal, and I see the grown up like I see the other grown ups as little kids, and I see the little kid Jan. I'm just letting her know I got this, and I'm letting the other little kid who's showing up as a grown up say, you know, I just see it's silly, you know, but I am amused, and I'll let them have their little tantrum and just.
But notice your clarity.
Yeah.
What is your clarity like?
It's totally, I see it totally different.
Wow.
Where rather than being really small and the person I'm with being really big and right and all-knowing, I see them as in the sandpit with me.
Yeah.
And the other me.
The word you said before was equality.
Yeah.
So let your mind and your body store this. And then we're going to come back and we're going to sit down and have more of a chat about it. But let yourself take whatever time you need to store the understanding and the pattern of this and the power that goes with this. And then when you're ready, open your eyes. Come back. Have a seat.
Yeah.
Wow. That was fun just to watch in the physiology of that.
Yeah.
what was that like to feel the adult way? Whatever that means.
The resourceful way, I guess.
Resourceful.
I felt good. I felt amused. I felt compassion. I felt like I saw the little kid in the big person.
Yep.
You know, that they were just a kid. They were in an unresourceful state.
Yep.
That's what I mean by that kind of kid. Just having a meltdown.
Yeah.
And it didn't make what their words say mean anything.
Right.
Just like when the kids say stuff. You know, and I'm just amused and hold them, and then they sink into you. And I just felt very safe.
Wow.
My mind was like, I'm safe for you, Jan. I'm in a safe space for this.
Wow.
Let them do their thing. Let you do your thing. Just,
wow.
You got it. I got it.
So what do you believe after that about anger, feeling anger, displaying anger now?
Why, I believe that it's, when I see it, it shouldn't terrify me, because it's just someone in an unresourceful state. It's nothing more than a kid having a meltdown.
That's right.
Really.
That's right.
Really.
And that might not even be an unresourceful state. That might be how they do resourcefulness.
Yeah.
But my guess is you're never going to be that tyrant, that angry, that yelling Jen, because that's just not you.
No.
But when anger comes, or in the past you haven't been able to react to it, and you do it internally, and then you beat yourself up and
Yes.
do all that, what will be different now?
Well, I feel I'll be able to acknowledge, okay, this is off. Is what I experienced there. This is off. And I can't say anything here because there's momentum. I feel logical.
Wow.
I feel
You're logical here, aren't you, with kids?
Yes. I feel logical and more detached, which feels great, and more aware, and a little removed, so I can. They just need to get it out,
Yeah.
you know, and listen.
Yeah.
We'd listen, be curious, and then, you know, address what needs to be addressed unapologetically, but I like it.
Wow.
I do.
You said before that others might respect you more because of it. How about you respecting you?
I do. Yeah, I absolutely do. I'm like, where the hell have you been all my life? Seriously.
Because this is the Jen that stands up for herself.
No. Seriously. I'm a bit pissed off at her, to tell you the truth. Logically.
Because she didn't know how before.
Yes.
Because that was always
little one, but big one. She should have known better.
Should have, but she was only doing what the little one knew.
Yeah.
But the new Jen, this Jen, knows how to stand up for herself. And what if she's standing up for herself and she goes, no, I'm pissed off about that. And somebody else goes, no, you shouldn't be. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be. Do you agree with them, or do you continue to be pissed off because you are?
No, I am what yeah.
And then most likely, you'll even find, like what you found out this week, that because you allow that, it's those 3 A's. You know, I'm aware of the anger, I acknowledge it, or whatever the second A is, and then I can take action on it, that the anger actually dissipates. Because when we can feel it, accept it, be aware of it, otherwise it has to eat us.
Yeah.
And that's why you were angry for a year, and
Yeah.
it took a few days for you to let it go. Once you're allowed to feel it.
And it seems the other piece was that the me I saw as a little kid who was having this illness, it seems like that was okay, and I could be amused. There was a part of me that could be amused by it,
Yeah.
and it wasn't the end of the world. It wasn't the end of a marriage. It wasn't the end of a
Right.
family relationship.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
a moment.
It's a moment.
That nothing's going to come crumbling down.
No.
You know.
In fact,
It
good
seems-
things can come from it. Equality can come from it.
Yeah.
Respect can come from it.
Yeah.
Healthy emotions can come from it.
Yeah.
Because even anger can be healthy. Releasing steam is healthy.
Yeah.
Holding it in makes us implode.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's very against my nature. Surprise.
Has been.
So, I mean, I'm joking. I mean, emotion is not against my
No,
nature.
oh, emotion, no.
No,
Yeah, emotion,
so
you're
to be
one of the
able
most
to-
emotion.
To be able to keep it, you know, and yeah.
So do you have permission to have all scope of emotions? Joy and anger, happy and sad?
Yeah, in fact, it will keep people in my life longer. Like, because if you lose it at me in the past, that was it.
Wow.
You know, really, if it was like,
And now if somebody loses it, they're losing their shit, but it's not about you.
yeah, it's unless that you were blood, or it was like I don't need that in my, and really, I would say to a kid, you know, that's very conditional. I said, you can't control everything. You know, I would let them know you know.
Wow.
I would talk to them about the controls in you, you know, and you need everyone to stand in the head for you to feel happy. What do you think you mean?
So this again brings you back to more authenticity,
Yeah,
because now even more you get to walk your talk.
sure. Which I didn't realize I wasn't. I was just thinking they were toxic people. Which
Is very conditional.
It is. It so is. No wonder I'm happy, because I'm in a feathered nest, you know. You're chopped. Everyone's worried
to be
now.
wrong,
Don't
you're
upset you.
No, now we're okay with it. We know that you'll be okay with it.
Thank
Wow.
you. Yeah.
You're welcome. So we started off saying that we were going to create more healthy angry with power, your
Yes.
power. And you would know that because you had more of that feeling that you can do it for
Yeah.
yourself, that self-advocate, with more feeling of being attached, but with more alignment. Tell me about the alignment. Head, heart, gut alignment after what we just did.
Oh, totally there. Because before, there was no gut, there was no head, there was just heart. If there was gut, it was survival. And there was just... So, no, this is very... Actually, it even changes the way you stand. I stand. I felt.
Yeah.
It made me breathe differently. It made, you know...
Tell me a couple things you're going to take away.
I'm going to have fun with it. I'm going to play with it.
Yay.
And I know I don't have to go look for an experience because they show up.
Indeed.
So, you know,
And how nice you can continue
And-
to play
and now
for
I have-
longer.
someone who's worth it, you know, who I want to get to the other side with
Nice.
without, you know. So I'm eager to, yeah, I feel good about myself.
So then I'm going to ask the same questions I asked before. Now that we have this and there's more of that alignment, what does that do to self-love?
It amplifies it.
And self-worth?
Absolutely. Solidifies it.
And self-confidence?
Yes. Because it's authentic self-confidence.
That's right.
Yeah.
Questions for me?
No. Poke me. Get me, see, let's test it. Piss me off.
I have nothing to say right now.
No,
that might piss you off.
okay. No, thank you. No, I'm really
Very well.
grateful.
Very well.
Thanks. Goosebumps.